Hey everybody, back again, and I uploaded a video a few hours ago on kind of my review and initial reactions to finally seeing Rise of Skywalker in the movie theater, and being a big Star Wars dork and just kind of letting it all out. It was a rambling, incoherent mess, which is usual for this channel. But I wanted to go back and kind of look at some of the things that I liked and didn't like more specifically from the movie, because I was just felt like a ping pong ball going back and forth in that video. So I was going to do a top 10 list of things I didn't like, but that's kind of negative. So I would do 10 things I did like, and then instead of doing one video of mixing them and matching them, I thought I would just do top 10 things I didn't and top 10 things I did like about the movie, because it's easier to watch and get a more consistent frame of mind, a consistent track. So, but I want to do it now while it's still fresh in my head, and I just want to jump right into it. So some of these things I maybe talked about a bit in the review and rant, but I want to again go more specifically now and do the 10 things here that I didn't like about the movie. And there's probably more than 10, but this is just off top of my head right now. So number one thing is, this is going to be a very contentious thing for a lot of people, I think. It's just Palpatine. Why is he in this movie, right? I think that Snoke got killed in Last Jedi. They got to do something else to put a big bad in there, because Kylo, you could see, was never really going to stay evil. He was going to be redeemed sooner or later. And so why not put Palpatine in? And it seems good on the surface, right? Because that connects the prequels to the sequels now, I guess. And he's kind of, because there's no Vader, the one kind of linking thread between all these trilogies. But he's done it so poorly. He's such a throwaway, right? It's never really explained how he comes back. Is he a clone? I guess he's some kind of mechanical life support clone, if you've seen him in the movie, right? But really is not explained. His plan makes no sense. It's really not explained either. All he has to do is take over someone's body, and then ultimate power is his again. But it's like, it's so shallow, and it's so weak, and it's so like it's just so like stereotypical evil mustache twitching. That's twisting my mustache now. Bad guy schlock, and it's just, Palpatine's always got these big designs and plans and schemes, and here it's just like, oh yeah, I got a couple thousand Star Destroyers, I'm just sitting on them, and oh, my body's back, and I just, I guess he built the First Order and cloned Snoke to train. I guess he does have a plan, but it's so convoluted, and it's just, you could just tell it's shoehorned in because there was no hints from before, and it's so poorly done. And it's Palpatine, man. This should have been some kind of epic culmination, accomplishment, whatever it is, of all the movies, 9 movies, and most of it he's just hooked up to life support on some kind of arm. It's like, what? Ray, just walk away, leave him there. Like, what's he gonna do? He's just handled poorly. And I guess jumping to the next part that goes hand in hand with this is Rey. Number 2, Rey's background is finally revealed, and it's probably the most boring of the possibilities. She's a Palpatine, not a clone of Palpatine, or not, created by Palpatine like Anakin maybe was out of the Force. She's literally like his granddaughter, right? Your Snoke theory sucks, your Palpatine theory sucks. It's just like, what does it add to anything, right? It's the whole movie's about like the Skywalker family and lineage, and then at the very end, like, oh, and then there's a little mini Palpatine lineage in here now, and Rey, of course, she's the good guy, and there's, let's make her the most related to the most evil guy possible. Maybe trick audiences into thinking there's a hint that Rey's never gonna go bad, right? And it's just like, it just makes, it's kind of, and this movie does it a lot, it's just trying to like up the stakes as high as possible to make it interesting, but it's not. It's probably the most boring choice. Make her a Kenobi, make her a Luke's daughter, make her the reincarnation of Anakin, which I'll get to, right? That would be, all three of those would be way more interesting. Hell, just having her be a nobody, but explain it instead of just, oh, they sold you for drinking money, cop out, right? Could be interesting. Palpatine could be interesting, but it's just kind of a throwaway explanation. I mean, I guess Rey's better being a Palpatine than what she was before. It explains a lot why she's so powerful and just, needs little training and is just so OP. But it's just a weak kind of Deus Ex Machina, is that what they call it? It's just like, yeah, we're gonna change everything quickly, and it doesn't work very, very well. And it's kind of a letdown. And when you finally hear it, it's like there's no. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. But that's not what you want, right? So, wasn't handled very well. It didn't have the oomph I thought that the writers thought that it may have, right? Now some more nitty gritty things. It's not all big stuff, but Hux, right? Hux is a joke after 2 movies. He's just a screaming tantrum kid, and now he's kind of more disciplined now because he doesn't do any ranting or raving. But I guess it's a little mini subplot of a subplot is there's a spy in the First Order, and it turns out it's real obvious when it happens. Oh, it's Hux, right? The guy who commanded Starkiller Base and blew up the New Republic. All of a sudden he's got First Order remorse, and he wants to help Poe and Finn, right? And his explanation is incredibly weak. Kylo Ren can't win. What? Why? It's never explained. What's his beat? I mean, they don't really get along, but why can't Kylo win? Is it because he's afraid that he's going to team up with Palpatine and destroy the galaxy? Isn't that what the First Order wants to do, is destroy the galaxy? Is it personal, like a vendetta between these two guys? And he just doesn't want to see Kylo Ren get over? It's not explained. And before Hux can explain himself, he's shot dead, which I guess was kind of funny, but it doesn't matter because Hux he's such a useless guy. And to have him be the spy, it doesn't add anything. It's just it's a cop-out. They wrote themselves into a wall. Here's an extra thing. They storm a Star Destroyer in the movie to save Chewie, which I get, right? You want to save Chewbacca, but you're on a deadline. The universe is going to be destroyed in like 6 hours. You don't got time, the 3 of you, to go hijack a Star Destroyer, and because you have some coin in the First Order. They're now ranting again, right? So to sneak on, anybody can sneak on a First Order Star Destroyer as long as you have like a captain's coin. That's all it takes. And I don't know, is it like a galaxy pit stop? Do you just come and hang out? Like, yeah, you can board our ship, and we don't care who you are. You got do they think they were a member of the crew? It doesn't make any sense. It's the Falcon. The Falcon lands on the Star Destroyer. No one gives it a second thought. I mean, it makes no sense. But anyway, yeah, Hux betrays them for no real reason. They got to get off of there somehow, and so we'll just have Hux. I guess it's probably the most useful he's been in the new movies, but it's just, why? Why does he do it? It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to have him betray, tell us why, right? He hates Kylo Ren so much. That would make sense after he gets mistreated and belittled by Kylo, but it's not explained, and it's just weak, right? Weak. Next, nitty gritty, but there's another subplot of a subplot in the movie. Finn has some kind of secret that he can't tell Rey because he never gets time alone with her, right? And it's never explained. It's not mentioned once. It's mentioned like 2 or 3 times in the movie. Finn has this secret, and he never, unless I missed it, I didn't take any restroom breaks, he never tells her. So what's the point? What is the secret? Is he in love with her? Maybe it's hinted at that, but it's never explained. It's kind of hinted again that maybe Finn is force sensitive in the movie. There's a couple times he just kind of, again, they wrote themselves into a wall. He just kind of knows or senses things that Finn usually doesn't. And if there was a payoff at the end that Finn is like Force enabled, that'd be cool. Makes him interesting. But he's got a secret, and he just never tells anyone. Credits roll. Boom. Done. Whatever. Why? Why is that there? There's a million other things they could add to this movie, but we got to get Finn's subplot now. We're going to get rid of the casino. We're just going to give him a secret. Not much better. The biggest thing to me personally is the space battle at the end is such a letdown. It's so weak. And you know, you got thousands of Star Destroyers, and the trailer shows like, you know, there's a little clip of all the Resistance fleet flying in, and we got Y-Wings back and B-Wings again, and again, space battles is like my favorite part of Star Wars, and like maybe now we can get like the granddaddy of them all. It's the last movie of them all, right? And the space battle is mostly in cockpit shots of the pilots. No, oh geez, look out. Very little dogfighting, hardly any at all. Really no zipping around. You got all these Star Destroyers. You could do, you know, so many shots of going around the I mean, just look at Return of the Jedi. They do it perfectly there. And there's nothing. And all those ships you see in the trailer like kind of come in to save the day, but they don't do anything. They don't do anything. They're not even cannon fire. They don't even blow up well. They just appear, and you can't. It's so. If you're going to do space battle done right, this is your chance. And Rogue One does it way better than this. And it's just such a letdown. B-Wings are never seen. One of the big, if you're a dork like me, one of the big things that people are upset about, or regret, I guess, Return of the Jedi, is even though B-Wings are in the movie, there's really no scenes with them. I guess there was one that got cut because the green screen or the model, the way it worked, it was too thin, or it just didn't show up well. So you only see B-Wings fleetingly in Return of the Jedi, and they never do get their day in the sun, I guess you could say. It's like a knock against B-Wings. And here they're back, and you see them in the movie, they don't do nothing. You only see them in that like initial fly to the, I can't even say the name of that last planet, whatever. And that's it. Then they're gone. It's like, what? Why bring them back? Oh, sell toys. But they don't do anything. The space battle is such a letdown, and I don't know if we're ever going to see X-Wings and TIE Fighters chopping it up again. It's waste. What a waste. Big one. Another big one here, going from little to big. Well, space battle is big in my heart. The complete absence of Darth Vader. What? Where? How? It makes no sense, right? Force Awakens kind of teased in his mask and his legacy, and Kylo's got a Vader fetish. And then Last Jedi, who's Vader? Darth Vader? No one cares, no one knows. And here the mask, you see it a few times. But again, like, if you're gonna like wrap everything up, where's Anakin? Where's Darth Vader in all of this? And he's not mentioned at all, right? He was a Force ghost in Return of the Jedi. We know that, but that's it. He just says goodbye at the funeral pyre, and later guys, like, none of the Force ghosts acknowledge that he was. Where is Vader? Hey, haven't seen his ghost in a while. Where has he been? I don't know. Like, no one even cares. It's just Palpatine doesn't really mention him. Kylo's moved on, but it's Darth Vader. The first 6 movies are kind of built around this guy, and to have him be completely absent is such a waste. And I know from looking at old concept art and looking at some of the early drafts of the original movies, there was a lot of they like to reuse movies in Star Wars. There's a lot of like talk of Anakin's Force ghost, right? Would have been like half Anakin blue, half Vader red, and he like shifts back and forth, like he's torn between the two sides. That'd be cool and interesting, and I thought for sure we'd finally see that in here, but maybe it was cut. I don't know, but it would have tied it so much better into what came before to just acknowledge the guy. And again, you know, he killed Palpatine and put an end, you know, Luke redeemed him, and it's just, he's so central, and it's just such a void, and it's such an easy home run to just, you know, touch on Vader a little bit, but he's just gone and forgotten, I guess. So why? I don't know. That's a big miss on me. Another thing that is brought up in the movie and just gone is at the beginning, the light speed skipping. Finn's in trouble, and so to escape these First Order TIE fighters, this is probably the best dogfight in the movie, is he takes the Falcon and just kind of jumps from one random place to another, which is different. We don't really see that. I thought it takes time to make calculations to go to light speed. That's what Empire and stuff showed us. But whatever, it's new trilogy. We make up new rules when we want to. So he's just randomly going to new places, and literally he's like light speed jumping into the middle of skyscrapers and cityscapes and asteroid fields, and I don't think that's how light speed's supposed to work. It's not teleportation. Makes no sense. And the First Order is able to just follow him beat for beat. Like, if he's going to do this crazy thing, like, yeah, the pilots, the TIE fighters will do it, and they know exactly where he's going before he even goes, and they can make the calculation. It makes no sense. And then when they come back, Rey's angry with him. Like, you were light skipping, and no one's ever done that before, and the Falcon's not capable, and, like, you would not make such a big deal of it in, like, the very beginning of the movie if it wasn't going to, be a payoff later on, right? Or maybe they had to do this light speed skip to get away from the First Order. It's kind of like, oh, all right, well, we're going to see this again because they're making such a big deal. Nope, you don't. That's it. It's a dangerous thing. Poe did it to show off, and it's not mentioned ever again, and who cares, right? What? Why? Why just light speed away? And there's other ways to create tension, and just to kind of rewrite the rule, but it makes no sense. That's a huge fail, and I don't. Again, an amateur. I don't even know why you would put that in to the movie. Write that in. I have no idea. Again, a lot of people will say this. The movie's just so damn fast. It's just bam. It's light speed skipping across the entire film. There's tons of planets. I think we probably go to more planets in this one than in any other Star Wars movie before. But you're on each one for like 10 minutes or less. And the movie's just... I've heard some people say it's like a big fetch quest, which I guess it kind of is. But, I mean, it helps the movie because it helps keep things going. If it did stay too long in one place, I think cracks would start to show, and the movie would start to fall apart, and it wouldn't work. But going too fast, you never get a chance to. There's no character building. No one really develops much because it's just traveling. So much time is spent traveling to places, looking for things. It's boring. You can do it a little bit, but we want to see Finn and Poe and Rey and Kylo grow, and we want to see ramifications and consequences and dilemmas. And here it's just bam, 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 bam. Too fast. Cut out some of the planets, condense some things, and I think it might make the movie a little stronger. It doesn't help. Too fast. I mentioned it. I already mentioned Rey and Palpatine Rey. How that adds very little to the movie. The film does copy Return of the Jedi quite a bit. Probably not as much as Force Awakens copies Star Wars, but there's a lot of times here that you can see they're kind of following Return of the Jedi here, and doesn't sit well with me. It's okay in Force Awakens because that was kind of a reset, and it was Star Wars comfort food because we're just coming off the prequels and what's this new Disney trilogy going to look like. So, it was a one-time thing. It's okay in Force Awakens. It's kind of endearing how much it kind of follows along with A New Hope. But in this one, it's we want to see something different now. And to go back to the well and Return of the Jedi, it's just kind of, I don't know, not lack of ideas, playing it too safe. You got Lando, the guy in the mask in the desert saves them when they're in trouble. It's like, oh, that's got to be Lando right away, and of course it was. And these two teams, or the satellites, they gotta the relay they gotta destroy the ships is like trying to get rid of the shield base on Endor to destroy the Death Star. when Palpatine is messing with Rey, and he like opens up the door, and you can see the Resistance fleet getting wiped out, just like when he's taunting Luke in Return of the Jedi, and strike me down. He wants Luke to kill Vader or kill. It's a lot of Return of the Jedi similarities. Not a ton, but too much, I would say. Right? Let's go some new ground. Let's try some new things out. You're like, well, Last Jedi did it. We can do better, right? And the last thing, this is number 10. I should have been numbering. I'm sorry. So backtrack real quick. Number 1, Palpatine makes no sense. 2, Palpatine, Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter, doesn't really do much either. Hux's betrayal is weak. Finn's secret, we never know. The the space battle is weak as hell. Total lack of Vader, which makes no sense. The light speed skipping adds nothing again to the movie and also makes no sense. The film is just too fast. It just goes too quickly. Return of the Jedi copying is too blatant in some places. And the last one is it adds nothing to this trilogy, right? What is the point of this trilogy? And I talked about this in my initial review. So real quick, just read the trilogy. It's, Luke's rise and the Empire fighting against the rebels. And, there's a story that's being told. There's a beginning, middle, and final act, right? The prequel is all about Vader's rise, along with the rise of the Empire and how did that come to be, and the Clone Wars, and kind of explaining that. So there's a story to be told there. But here, what is the story? What do we need 3 movies to talk about? What else needs to be done? It's kind of like, Return of the Jedi ended things, but did it really? No, we're just gonna have it keep going. So, Endor and all that stuff didn't really end anything. It just prolonged and procrastinated stuff, right? It just is a speed bump in Palpatine's plan because, I'll be back in 30 years with an even bigger fleet and those damn Star Destroyers with the laser weapons. That's number 11, right? What's the point of those? It's so stupid. You don't need 1,000 ships, 1,000 mini Star. That's always the thing. It's like, there's no, the Empire is not very creative. So we'll make a super death laser and we'll make a planet death laser. And we'll make every ship, in the EU, they had special ships like the Eclipse, the super big Star Destroyer, right? And it was special because they grafted a Death Star laser onto it, right? They weren't a dime a dozen. It was unique, right? But now it's like, everything kills these planets. It's just, what? Again, why? More is not always more. But again, going back from 11 to 10, it adds nothing to this. Do we really need to, to be continued with Palpatine and see how he comes back? Is Rey such an engaging character that we need to show her journey and all the things she had to overcome to save the galaxy again? Luke is a non-factor in this. We got to continue Luke's story. Luke doesn't have a story. It's just these trilogies, the new trilogy, it just adds nothing to the overall story. It's literally just like it seems like fan fiction or just I hate to say it, like a money grab on Disney's part. We're just gonna rehash everything to sell more toys, and that's the main thing. It's not about continuing the story and advancing the characters. It's just we just want to keep it going in perpetuity. I can't talk. And there's no direction. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just exists, but it doesn't add anything to what came before, and that's disheartening. It's just there's no point to this new trilogy, and if there is a point, I must have missed it. But there's no need for it to exist, and given how it exists now, there's no reason for it to be made. It adds nothing to the overall picture of Star Wars, and that is probably the biggest letdown looking back. It's just where is this going, and why are we going here, and why do we need to tell this story? it's disappointing. So anyway, the 10 most, like actually 11 disappointing things that I had, weakest elements, things I hated, disliked about the Rise of Skywalker. And it's not all bad. There's 10 good things I did like. Had to stretch it a little bit, but that'll be in my next video, and I'll explain, the positive side. And there were some good parts to the movie, and I'll tell you what those are in the next video, because 25 minutes already is way too long, and I'm out of here. I got things to do. I know you do too. Failed entrepreneur. Catch you later.